What's up everybody? Jeff Horste here. This is a follow-up to my last video where I talked about a rapper named Burden and his song White Privilege. For those of you who missed it, I'll bring you up to speed. Burden is a white rapper who uses rap music to denounce white privilege, racism in law enforcement, and whatever else his cult leader tells him to. His beliefs are based on his feelings and insecurities. In my last video, I debunked his beliefs using actual facts and statistics from respected, credible sources. So then Burden left me a comment on Instagram where he said, "I really expected something funny coming from a comedian, but this is just pure puke. Dude, if we went joke for joke in a roast, I'd marry your mom at a Trump rally afterwards." What the hell does that even mean? First of all, he didn't even mention the fact that it disproved all of his terrible beliefs. Also, he said he's funnier than me, but he used a yo mama joke to prove it. And not just any yo mama joke. He used a yo mama joke about marriage. He didn't even say that he was gonna fuck my mom. He said that he was going to marry her. What type of yo mama joke ends with, "I'm gonna make your parents get a divorce"? "I'm gonna take your mom and make an honest woman out of her. We are gonna spend the rest of our lives together till death do us part." Well, in Burden's own words, growing up, his mom was a drug addict, raging alcoholic, so I wonder if his obsession with wanting to marry my mom was really just to get closer to some of that motherly love that he missed growing up. I didn't ask my mom if she was interested because she doesn't fuck with dudes that look like cartoon poodles. Look, we both seem to be disappointed in the other person. Burden expected me to be funnier, and I expected that he'd educate himself in the culture that created the artistry he uses. But apparently, he's too busy to learn stuff. So much black culture to appropriate, so little time. He also sent me a private message that said, "Of course there's no one on the right because you report every comment you don't agree with, which is why he meant which is why your stab at a controversial post will never have any sort of reach because you won't just let the right have our opinion too, LMAO, cornball." What's a Trump supporter without a run-on sentence? You want that sentence to keep going? Throw another "because" in there. Let's break this down a little bit. You see, along with this message, he also sent me a screenshot. And because it says this, he thought this meant I was reporting comments. What he should have done is just click the little blue thing that says, "Learn more." But once again, what type of Trump supporter wants to learn? Had he been more willing to learn, he probably would have found out that over a year ago, Instagram started to use that as a warning because too many shitty people were saying too many shitty things. This isn't about me, it's about him. I don't report comments. As a matter of fact, I encourage Burden to read some of the comments on my other posts. He'll find other Trumpers whose comments are still there. He should reply to some of those people and say, "Hey, it looks like you're racist. Check out my last song." Now look, even though this was a year ago, I can't expect him to know 2019 Instagram information while he still has racial views from the 1960s. Whoa, what do we have here? Is Burden at Motown Records? Motown Records was founded by Berry Gordy in 1959 and was the first black-owned record label. Meanwhile, the first record label was in 1889, 70 years earlier. Black musicians created various styles of music, paving the way for white musicians to emulate, perform, and steal, yet it took them another 70 years for them to own their own record label. You see, Burden wants to perform black music without believing black people. The reason that rap music is popular enough today for it to be something that reached Burden is because of black artists using their platform to speak about issues that he doesn't even believe in. From Temptation's Ball of Confusion to Stevie Wonder's Living for the City and Black Man, Motown Records has represented groundbreaking black artists speaking out on issues facing the black community. So where does he fit here?
Telling me you got expectations of me paying you reparations.
So let me get this straight. You went to the black record label and presented your music about how the white man has it bad? What was that like? Hey, I got a brand new sound. I rap about how white people are actually oppressed. Oh, is there any audience for it? Well, yeah, as long as racism exists. So, kinda. Let's get to know Burden a little more by checking out some of the things he likes the most. Here's a list I found of his top 5 NBA players of all time. Here's his top 5 jazz musicians. No offense to Kenny G. I fucks with Kenny G. You made a post asking who else you should work with. One person suggested Rihanna. Holy shit, that would never happen. Someone else suggested DMX, Method Man, Bone Thugs, and Burden on the same song. Why would anyone suggest that? If Burden was on that, his verse would be treated like Birdman's verse on a Lil Wayne song. I love that someone suggested Dr. Dre. I think it's pretty well recorded that Burden and Dr. Dre have different opinions on the police. Not sure if they would get along. People think that Dr. Dre just works with any white rapper. Well, he worked with Eminem, so maybe... No. Stop. You're wrong. He never will. Obviously, someone did suggest Eminem, of course, because, well, he's white. But I'm just not sure that suggestion was well thought out. You see, in Burden's bio, he mentions that he idolized Eminem as a kid. And like Eminem, he also had a rough childhood. However, unlike Burden, Eminem understands that just because he faced many difficulties in his life and his childhood, that doesn't mean that white privilege isn't real. As he does have songs that mentions racism in law enforcement and white privilege in the music industry. Oh, and he kind of flicked you off a while back.
And any fan of mine who's a supporter of his, I'm drawing in the sand a line. You're either for or against. And if you can't decide who you like more in your split on who you should stand beside, I'll do it for you with this. You.
His only rap idol is Eminem. He literally has no black influence in rap music. In what world does that make sense? The bottom line is rap music, as an art form, is rooted in black oppression, and Burden is using it to explain why he feels black oppression isn't real.
Thank you for watching, and check out my Patreon page where you can find exclusive content updated regularly, and find me at Jeff Horste on YouTube and all social media.
What type of yo mama joke ends with, "I'ma make your parents get a divorce"? I'ma take your mom and make an honest woman out of her. We are gonna spend the rest of our lives together till death do us part.